My name is Erin Johnson. I've been a member here for a very long time, and we're so glad that you joined us here today. Our theme for 2025 is Rising Higher and Growing Deeper. This month, our focus is in living color. For those of you who are old enough to remember the show from the 90s, that's the inspiration for the topic. Today's message is It's Never Too Late and It's Never Too Soon, also from the song that goes with that show. And it will be given by our beloved Reverend Charlene Banks. And we're so glad that you joined us today. Please feel free to add to the chat or in the comments any prayer requests or celebrations that you would like to have included later in the service when we provide our community spiritual mind treatment, which is a form of affirmative prayer. So now, take a deep breath, get comfy in your place, and relax into this moment as we will officially begin our service with this welcoming video.
Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be a service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly, and so it is.
And now, for today's meditation, Charlene will take us through.
Thank you, Erin. I appreciate that welcome. And welcome and happy Father's Day to all of the fathers who are with us today, and even the fathers that have passed on. Larry Branch comes to mind. Okay, so as we set our intention to go deep, I invite you to close your eyes if it feels comfortable. And take a nice grounding breath, breathing in deeply and exhaling. For we are right on time. No matter where we may have come in from, no matter what sort of sense of rushing or accomplishment may have preceded this moment, we just let that go. And we are here now. For the internal self, this inner eye that we turn toward our center. This is the true self. Our true nature is our highest nature. Just be with that still, small voice within. Knowing that right in the center of who we are, there is also the one, the source of all beings. It's not us and the divine. It's us as an expression of the divine. There's no separation. There's just the realization that we are one. So in the center of our very being, this is this heart space. If it helps, put your hand over your heart. Feel the vibration coming from the very center of you. Feel that love. Feel that light. This is the truth of you. Breathe into this space. Allow it to expand. Allow this heart vibration, this sense of loving presence, allow it to fill your very space, emanating outward like pulses of light, like waves of sound, vibration. Let this feeling, the sense of loving presence, let it engulf your entire being. As if you, sitting where you're sitting, standing where you're standing, you are in a bubble of perfect love and light. Feel the energy crackling like electricity, just vibrating and loving you, all parts of you, seen and unseen. You are love. This energy that you are, this truth of the nature of yourself. This is the truth of each and every one of us. All living, sentient beings are one with us. We include them in our bubble. Let the bubble simply be the earth itself, where love reigns supreme. anything that's not like the energy, the vibration, the high frequency of love, it's simply dissipated for nothing. Nothing is more powerful than love. And stay here in this loving presence, holding you like you've always wanted to be held. And simply say, thank you. Thank you, life. Thank you, Father, Mother, God. Thank you, Divine Source. And bring your attention back into your body, wiggling your fingers and toes, but not letting go of that embrace of the divine love. Bringing it back into the room, letting it be, and opening your eyes. For now it is time for the soul pajamas to sing a beautiful little ditty.
And this song that Dan wrote many years ago is really about the journey that Reverend Charlene just took us through. Spirit, speak to me, I'm quiet. All of me hears all of you. Thank you for my inner calling. I am listening. Spirit, come to me. All of me feels all of you. Thank you for my change of heart. I am grateful, so grateful. All of my days I've been hungry for guidance, asking what is mine to do. If only I'd known to sit in the silence and open my heart to you. Speak to me. Spirit, breathe into my heart. I'm connected to your love. Thank you for my inspiration. I am breathing. Thank you for my understanding. I am knowing. And thank you for my bounty. I am timeless. I am
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you. I love that song. It was the perfect song. I don't know if you planned it earlier, but I love that you sang that. Oh, thank you, Soul Pajamas. Welcome to week 3 of June. And I'm so happy to be able to talk about today's topic, because who better than me to talk about today's topic? Well, what's the topic, you might ask? Well, Erin did already introduce that it's titled, It's Never Too Late and It's Never Too Soon. And Erin also mentioned how it is a lyric from in living color. Because Heavy D came in and he says, it's never too late and it's never too soon. Remember that part? Yeah. It's a perfect title for today's talk because not only is it Father's Day, which of course Father's Day celebrates the masculine presence in our lives. Does it have to come through a male body? No. As a single mother, I will tell you, I've decided many times, does this situation call for my masculine or my feminine side? You know, the masculine side says, go get him, tiger, when your child's about to do something crazy. And then the feminine side says, watch out, honey. Like we need both. And I got it. I get it. So times when I would be sort of tempted to, oh, my poor baby, I'm like, suck it up, get through it. You got this. And other times I bring in the feminine. It is a balance. The masculine, the feminine. Today we honor that masculine aspect of life, that one that goes out there and gets it, that one that is action, and hopefully it's inspired action. Hopefully it's action in a service of the highest good, the action that we saw yesterday. If you were a part of the protests, God bless you. Thank you for going out there. I know many in our community went out there and participated in sort of, I would say, a call to attention where some would hope to take the masculine aspect and force it over others, power over. Well, that was the thing that they were pushing against. Our community and many people went out yesterday, took the action that is required by that movement, and also infused it with a balanced energy of no, 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 no. There's no such thing as power over. We don't play that game. We know that there's a balance, that there is a flow, there's an ebb and flow, a yin and yang, there's an outer and an inner that is balanced, that should be, shall be, and excuse me, our democracy makes sure that it is a balance of powers across prescribed branches. And in this case, masculine, feminine, we know that when paired together with a polarity that is able to move between them, that we get healthy, whole beings within ourselves, within our community, and especially as we raise children or people who act like children. Sorry. So, masculinity and fatherhood and Happy Father's Day, but also that's not the only thing that's happening today. If we take that and turn it a little more, what's happening is this week, Juneteenth falls on Thursday. Juneteenth, if you don't remember, the description about Juneteenth is that Abraham Lincoln in 1863 signed the Emancipation Proclamation saying, yo, no more enslavement. Of course, it was more formal than that, but that was the message. Stop it. Stop it now. Everybody's free. Now, you could say something, but if you don't enforce it, is it really true? I mean, so someone wrote a law, and those in some states said, yeah, la, 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 la. We didn't hear any laws. We were going to continue as we were. And listen, it's not true if nobody tells them. They're not free if they don't know they're free, says the people in Texas. By the time it got to them on June 19th, people in Texas, 1865, mind you, finally, because a Union general came over there in Galveston, Texas, and said, oh, by the way, you're free. And they were like, hold on, more than 2 years has passed, and we're just now finding out. Why did it take 2 years to reach Texas? Because of the remote location, how far away it was. They didn't have Twitter. They didn't have Facebook. Nobody went live. Although, can I just take a side note really quick? What's happening right now on X is kind of funny. People are using Google's new VO tool, and they're recreating historical events like Moses setting free the people from Israel. They created a video that said, what if Moses was an influencer and he live streamed it all? It is so funny, like the way that he's got Okay, hey guys, so it turns out we have to part the waters. It's hilarious because we get to reimagine. Now, I just said a minute ago, we did not have Facebook, we did not have Twitter, we couldn't go live in 1865. But what if we could? Well, then they would have known much more quickly that they were free. But here's the tie-in to today's talk and what I'm mentioning right now, Juneteenth. Once the message did arrive in Galveston, Texas, it might have been delayed, but once it arrived, it was right on time. Right on time. Now, it changed everything. Once this truth about the nature of the lives of the enslaved Africans, once it reached them, it changed everything. It's never too late to wake up and know the truth about yourself. This is the analogy today, where just like the Emancipation Proclamation might have happened 2 years prior, 2+ years prior, when it was finally revealed, it was just as powerful, just as palpable. Nothing was lost in the actual truth about it. It's just as freeing. So isn't this true about us? When we are on our spiritual path, there are things we do because we don't know yet. We don't know the truth about ourselves yet. And when we do receive the truth, whether it's through revelation or through meditation, contemplation, and awareness, for me, it's been coming in waves. By the way, it's always layers of freedom that you discover. It's never just boom, you're free. It's layers of freedom for me on my spiritual path. But what it happens to me is it comes through on several different channels because I know the higher self that is me knows that I'm going to need first the thing that you're choosing your reality is my experience. So walk with me. You're choosing your reality from many options. Now, that's not enough. You can tell me that. I can listen to my insight, tell me that, and I'm going to think that those are just words. I could have got those from anywhere. I could have just thought that up on my own. So then the universe, also me, says, here's 3 more really quick successive messages that are coming from people that could not have talked to each other about Charlene. These messages will come in immediately, like within 24 hours of each other, from channels that could not have coordinated this message to me. And then I'm like, okay, got it. So I know it's true that I get to choose my reality. We teach this in Science of Mind. We teach, in fact, here's what we teach. I'll read to you from Ernest Holmes' Science of Mind publication, page 44. Undoubtedly, we are surrounded by and immersed in a perfect life, a complete, normal, happy, sane, harmonious, and peaceful existence. Yeah, we're surrounded by that. We're immersed in it. But only as much of this life as we embody will really become ours to use. So he's saying we are surrounded by and immersed in the perfect life that we already we yearn for sometimes. Oh, I know. Oh, it seems hard. It's got to be better than this. We know something good is out there, but how come I can't get it here? Well, Ernest Holmes is saying that there's no distance. There's no real distance between us and the life we want to live. It's simply how much of it are you willing to embody? How much are you? Oh, so the movement's on my part? This is what Ernest Holmes has been saying the whole time. And it does translate to it's never too late or too soon to recognize that we have the power to embody more. Embody it. There's like something, that's a verb. Embody more. What is it you want to experience? More love. Embody love. Be in the harmony and the presence of and the vibration of love. So there I was. And I know this is true. I'm like, yeah, you can, when you change your thinking, you change your life. Pithy, awesome. We know it's true. It's worked in the past. But I'm going to tell you something. I do know this to be true, that when I look out in the world, I see what I expect to see, and I experience what I believe is true, as opposed to some hard, factual, can't be moved, static thing. When we look at quantum physics, there's nothing that's static. There's nothing that's solid. Everything's moving around all the time. And then when you have a different thought or an idea, a different expectation, what you look at starts changing right in front of your eyes. Nothing is hard coded, as they say in programmer speak. Everything's variable. Everything's responding to us. And that's one thing. I know that's true. And of course, I know it's true. And then I'm like skeptical, but I'm sure it can't change this one thing. Oh, did you just challenge the divine? Call in resources. And then I'm listening to Reverend Michael, who's interviewing Aaron, who has another Aaron from out in the world who has a channel, and she's talking the same stuff, but she never studied these studies. It's just the truth from another angle. And then I'm teaching my class and I hear about a book and I download the book and I'm listening to the. There are so many ways to phrase the words. You pick your reality that like I knew this intellectually, but I also get to stop doubting it, stop poo-pooing it because I think, oh yeah, but not me. I've proven this time and time again that I choose my reality. I get exactly what I'm willing to embody. And yet it's always fun to relearn it again and again and again. So there we are. We get to change our relationship with the events that are happening in our lives. We get to change that relationship. And I'd say the first step is to just be curious. Okay. Observe the event instead of being engaged and hooked into a fight. Look at it with, I wonder what's going on there. Changes everything. Your vibration will change everything. And so this is what we're talking about. We're drawn to this idea that we are choosing the life that we want, not only for ourselves, but for the world. We know that there's a difference in vibration between love energy and contempt or fear. Usually people use the polar opposites, love and fear. You can be coming from love or you can be coming from fear. You cannot be coming from both at the same time. And so we know that we can affect not only our lives, but those lives, the lives of those around us. And so when we think about Juneteenth, we celebrate it because we still have layers of freedom that we have yet to claim. And just like the enslaved in Texas who didn't get the memo about freedom, we too, how much of us is currently a little bit dozing off, a little bit asleep to, oh, wait a minute, I'm free to choose differently. I don't have to have this expression. I could choose a different one. We now are offered the possibility that life could look different if we choose differently. It's just one layer above being caught up in the details as if they're static, as if they're hard-coded. So we have, especially as African Americans, we come from a physical lineage, and I would say all of us come from the spiritual lineage of African. But I know that many of us can trace right back up the family tree. You don't have to go that far up to find an ancestor that was enslaved or somehow captured, kidnapped, trafficked into a world that they didn't choose. Yet, wow, what have we done with ourselves since then? Like you look at the demographics of the US. I'm not going to talk about the world because I'm not all that educated on the percentages around the world of the African diaspora. But I can tell you that in the US, there's an outsized influence that comes from the African American descendants. Listen, if we're only 14% of the United States makeup, we're actually informing and leading and dominating, if you will, a lot of athletics, entertainment, higher thought, inventions, outsized impact, leading, if not informing, uh, the entire zeitgeist, which tends to cause a bit of a backlash. Am I right? Some people are like, no, I don't like that. I don't like all this color. Yeah, I know, because last week we talked about Pride. We talked about Pride Month and how color not only comes down to what we're wearing and what we're being, rainbows to celebrate the diversity that is life itself, and then embracing the LGBTQIA plus community, because if we don't, some of them could get killed if you stay so separate. But so today is just, let's do that a little bit more. Let's realize that the upsized, outsized impact is sometimes the thing that gets on people's nerves. Are you celebrating too loudly who you are? Yeah, we get to celebrate loudly who we are. And no matter what it looks like, no matter if there are forces that decide, and I'm not talking about evil forces and entities that are floating around. No, physical people with a bigoted brain decide, oh, yeah, no, we don't like the way you partied. You partied too hard when you won that relay race, so you don't get to stand up on the podium. This happened to someone recently, who was rightfully the fastest one in the track team event. And oh, are you black and celebrating too happily? Oh, no, 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 we don't do that. It just little ways. That's a big way, but little ways we experience when the society at large would rather keep things separate, would rather maintain an illusion of superiority, even in the face of evidence to the contrary. They might have to share the stage. Now, I know I'm preaching to the choir. Everybody in this teaching understands that the separation of humans based on external appearances is the most basic, and I want to say, what's a word? It it's just basic. It's not enlightened. It's such a primal little way to separate people. Oh, you look like this, we'll put you in this box. Oh, you look like that, you must be great. Excuse you, have you talked to that person? Let's talk about what's going on inside of them. But spiritual teaching, I know this is the choir. I don't have to tell you that. But in our communities, not only do we have to realize that every single person is precious, every single person causes the whole tapestry to vibrate with all colors and all beautiful mixtures of life itself. And if we take the lid off and stop trying to control how everyone expresses their individuality, if we just let it cook, woohoo! Wow, the way we can celebrate, the way that the doors fly open on creativity beyond imagination, when we just let people be free to enjoy who they are here to be. So yes, we are a community that comes together and says, not only do we sit here and we know this to be true, we also act like we know it's true. It's not enough to believe. We could have beliefs and sit in our little church pews, and now, congratulations, you're a fundamentalist. But if you believe something and then get up and get out there and act on it, oh wow, your efforts, now you're causing just waves of progress to happen in the outer world. So as a community, it's not enough to just know, oh yeah, it's hard for some people. We don't just know it. We begin to dismantle the barriers that are separating people. We do what we're called to do. And I'm not going to tell you what's yours to do. If you don't want to hold a banner and stand outside, don't. If you'd rather be in the kitchen and cook the best cookie, make the best bakery product, do that. Do the thing that you're here to do because it's your joy, your vibration of joy, even in the face of what others would have us think is despair. Even in the face of that, your joy is the way you protest. Your joy is the way you stop it. Now, will it be stopped immediately the minute you're happy? Are you gonna shut down every alt? No, 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 no. It's listen. We do start with education. We educate ourselves and we find out how best to help, and we celebrate each moment. We do not give in to despair, not even for a second. But we also don't need the external approval in that moment. Just as you do not plant a seed and expect the rose to start popping out of the ground 5 minutes later, we know that every little step we take to sow joy, encouragement, enlightenment, to know a world of peace and love and equality where forces aren't so much fighting, but they're working together. This is the thing we know in our hearts, and it shall unfold according to the highest plan, which we can't see. And I know all of us here already know this, but I don't want anybody to be out there fighting against anything. Because all you're doing is feeding the beast. That's what I call it. All you're doing is getting into a tug of war. What we have to do is rise above what appears to be two opposites, rise above it, and know that all is unfolding perfectly. And we're part of the higher. We're going to pull that energy higher because nothing can be solved from the level of thinking that started the problem. You cannot use it. It would be like a person who's undergoing a sort of, what's it called when you do a dissociation? A person who's a little bit not connected to the actual world and they're in some delusion. It would be like asking them to solve it for themselves. They're in their delusion. They can't see that it's a delusion. You cannot see the problem from the level of the problem. Problems can be solved from a higher point. And this is what churches like ours or spiritual centers like ours, we create a higher way of interpreting what we're seeing so we can hold a vision that's higher than the vibration at which it's actually happening. And so we do not show up at events and say, know this, know that. You can do it. It worked. No kings. I saw it yesterday. It was great. But also what would be effective is say what you do want. Equality for all. I know it's a longer thing. I get it. But the idea is to come from the energy of what you do want. So that when somebody looks at a glimpse, let's say somebody's like scrolling through channels and they look at your poster, does it say what you don't want? Or does it say what you do want? And that's the idea. I would love all of us to come from what it is we do want, our vision of the highest good, the highest harmonious good for the planet, for ourselves, something where we've healed the apparent breaks and we're now moving forward as one. That would be an amazing thought. So, as the final thing that I'll let you know is let's look back in time as I close this talk. Even though us, we people, I don't know, what do y'all want to call it? Black people, that's what we are. We've been celebrating Juneteenth since 1865, but it became an official holiday back in 2021. And I'm not certain that it's still a holiday because I don't know, but it's one of those things where we look at a significant milestone and there's a pocket of people that are already holding that milestone dear. And then the idea is to get in there and celebrate with the people, because that's when we recognize our oneness. We can celebrate with each other. We can celebrate Pride Month without being gay. We could celebrate Juneteenth without being Black. We can celebrate every single step that we take toward viewing each and every human being as a wholly necessary part, wholly Holy or wholly WHOLLY, both necessary and whole. This, each and every being, wholly necessary to represent the oneness. that is true about us. It's not just an ideal, it's reality. So let's go within and let's anchor this whole idea of beauty, oneness, equality, and justice, anchoring that in prayer. There's one divine source. That oneness is our nature. This oneness from whence all things sprung, it is still within its creation. Some think that the divine created what is and then left. It is not the case. The divine is its creation. It's not only what it has created, it is also what has yet to come. It has created all things, past, present, future, which is happening all at once. We live in such a dynamic universe, such diversity, such power, and we are co-creators with the divine creator. And I speak my word right now that everyone within the sound of my voice right now realizes, hey, I am co-creating with the divine. I can choose my intention and move toward that intention. I can change the entire world within and without by choosing differently, choosing higher, participating in solutions, and working toward a higher good. I have that power right here, right now. This is the power of the divine as it moves through me as me. And I use it to make the world a better place. I shine the light of love, awareness, and well-being, and I point it in every direction. And my presence lifts the energies of those around me. My presence is beneficial to the overall arc toward more and more justice felt throughout the planet. I know I'm a part of making fabulous, fantastic things work. And I celebrate in this moment. I do not wait. I celebrate now. In gratitude, I rest because I know that as I speak my words into the law says yes. And it is already out picturing as I speak. So I simply release this word into this law, knowing it is already done. I let it go, I let it be, and I say, and so it is. Ashe. Soul pajamas.
This is a wonderful song by Harold Payne, who's been on the New Thought music movement for many, many years. He's really one of the top artists. So if you haven't heard of him, we encourage you to listen to him.
I am a humble man from a village in India. I go in the footsteps of those who came before. In this road I travel on, lift me up and make me strong. So when people ask me what this journey's for, if I take one step in the right direction, if I touch one heart along the way, and if that one step becomes a chain reaction, then my journey has not been in vain. I know no countries, I know no governments, I just know the people I've had the joy to lead. And the only flag I know is this banner that I'll show when you see me walking down the street. If I take one step in the right direction, if I touch one heart along the way, and if that one step becomes a chain reaction, then my journey has not been in vain. I get my inspiration from the words of the children, trying to teach myself what they already know. If I can't show my fellow man what a child can understand, then the seeds that I have sown will surely grow. If if I take one step in the right direction, if I touch one heart along the way, and if that one step becomes a chain reaction, then my journey has not been in vain.
Sing along with Charlene.
If I take one step in the right direction, if I touch one heart along the way, and if that one step becomes a chain reaction, then my journey has not been in vain.
Big ending here, folks.
If I take one step in the right direction, if I touch one heart along the way, and if that one step becomes a chain reaction, then my journey has not been in vain.
Okay, that was fun. You guys did good. I love to watch Reverend Charlene dancing along. So now is the time to bless the donations that are shared today. At CSL Leesburg, we believe in the law of circulation, so we are a tithing community. The donations shared with our center bless everyone, those who give and those who receive. And I am going to digress for a moment into a little story about my own prosperity journey, because it's really what donations are all about. So in the 90s, when I took my first foundations class, our teacher, Reverend Sunday Cote, said, pick a topic you want to work on. So for me, it was prosperity, because I'd come from a family with a lack mentality. So I said, okay, I'm going to give a much larger amount of money than was normally comfortable for me, and it's different for everybody, to the church as my project. So after that, I did experience this shift in prosperity. I don't mean just, it didn't have to do with making more money. It's my understanding of prosperity. Prosperity is not money. Prosperity is how you experience life and its fullness based on your attitude towards it. So I just want to remind you guys of that, because donations always have this dry word, this dry meaning. Anyway, so your donations are really to you. They are for your own investment in your own prosperity. So your donation helps, but they also help our center, our CSL home organization, as well as organizations that support the vision of helping to create a world that works for everyone, an inclusive world. We're always looking for suggestions for organizations that we should consider. So when you go to the website and click Give, you can also give us ideas. So please look at our screen. There are many ways here to give. It's easy to find a way that works best for you. You can also go to our website and click on the Donate button. So we thank you for your support, no matter how you're giving. Take that gift, physically or mentally, place it over your heart, and join us in our affirmation of oneness, which is the presence of Spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the lives of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. So as we end, nope, not yet. Now we're going to talk about what's happening here. So we have some events and some interesting opportunities. These are fundraiser opportunities for the church, but also for your own enrichment. So let me just talk to you about Renee for a minute. So Renee does these readings. Renee is a medium, and she accesses Akashic records. And for those of you who don't know what those are, they are, think of it as the giant library in the ethers of every thought, every feeling, every event in consciousness. It's all there. And the people with these gifts can access that wisdom when they do readings for you. And Rudolf Steiner is one of those people. And who's the other one I was trying to think of? The guy in Virginia Beach. Anyway, there's Edgar Casey. So there are many people who have this gift, and Renee is one of them. And so when she does a reading for you, she accesses that wisdom, and it may come to her from many different sources. Who knows who's going to come in to give her wisdom? And I've experienced it myself, and it was incredible experience. So it's really worth it if you can afford it, and it also gives to the church at the same time. So the next one is my wonderful husband, Dan, will handcraft a tune for you for someone you love for a special event. He's done this several times for people, and it's really a great experience, and the people always love it because they're like, wow, that's about me, you know? So in any event, that also also contributes to the church. So that's another great opportunity to think about. And I think the next thing is dream study. Well, having been, I'm part of the dream study gang, as are many of you, and it's really amazing. Yesterday was it was just amazing, the stuff we talked about. It's like a crash course in deep consciousness. So, and if you're having trouble with your dreams, this is the place to go. And it's alternating Saturdays, so the next one is June 28th. So please join us. Okay, and then as we end this sacred time together, let us once again place our hands over our hearts and say, okay, you can unmute now if you want to. I am love.
I am love.
I am love.
Now point at someone near you or to our members and guests on the screen and say, you are love.
You are love.
Now put your hands up in the air for some love sprinkles and say,
It's all
love.
It's all
love.
There you go. And isn't that the truth, really? So if you can stay for a few more minutes, please feel free to join us as we share our pearls, those little nuggets of our service that spoke to our hearts and minds. If you're a visitor, you're absolutely welcome to join us. But if we'd love to officially greet you, but if you have to leave, we completely understand, and we know that your day will be filled with love, joy, blessings, and Father Day barbecues. Thank you for joining us today.
Yay. It's a wrap.